And I must, before I begin speaking about the film, I must say that Bakshiji is one person who always puts a smile on my face. No matter how tired I am, but his energy and his enthusiasm is just unparalleled. So let's give him a big round of applause. Vivek and I, we consider ourselves lucky that during the course of making this film, we got to know the Kashmiri Pandit community. And what wonderful people they are. Their hospitality while we were, visiting them in their homes, talking to them, it was just such an amazing quality these people have that today, we spent 4 years on this film. We started the research in 2018, but today we feel a part of the community. We feel Kashmiri Pandits ourselves. I'm just going to take you through the story of the making of Kashmir Files. So we had just finished shooting for our film, the Kashmir Files, and it still hadn't released. And we decided to start our work, start the research for the next project. Vivek happened to go to US for some meeting, and it was a very chance meeting with Dr. Surinder Kaul, who's the founder, one of the founders of GKPD. They had a little talk, and on his way back, I think he was thinking about the film. He was thinking about the subject. We still didn't know at that point whether we would be making a film or a documentary or a web series, or we somehow thought that this should come in front of the people, but we didn't know in which form it would come. So he came back and he spoke to me about it. And like many of you, I was completely unaware of what was happening in Kashmir. So I decided to start my own research. I went through all the genocides of the world, the Rwandan genocide, the Armenian genocide. I went through what happened in Eastern Europe. And we also went through the UN guidelines of genocide. And we realized that, I'm not very sure about the exact number, but I think there are about 10 points in the UN guidelines of genocide. And I think even if you qualify in one, it is considered to be a genocide. I think Kashmiri Pandit community has gone through almost all of them. And yet nobody took cognizance of it. And what really amazes me is the fact that a lot of times when we spoke to ordinary people, not people from the Kashmiri Pandit community, but to ordinary Indians when we were traveling, and we asked them if they knew about this, obviously nobody knew about it in detail. Some people knew, about this issue in bits and pieces, but as you start traveling away from Delhi, geographically as you start coming downwards, mostly in the southern area of India, the news hadn't really reached. In fact, there is an actor in the film by the name of Prakash Belavadi, who's also a very famous theatre director from Kannadiga theatre director. He, in fact, had no idea that something like this had happened in Kashmir. And he, before being a theatre director, before starting with theatre, he used to be a journalist. And after the release of the film, he put out a video saying that the media is to be blamed as one of the system, the politicians, the media, a lot of institutions have been blamed for putting a lid on the truth. And he said, unfortunately, I belong to that community, and I seriously didn't know about this. But that is not my excuse. I would still like to openly, publicly apologize to the Kashmiri Pandit community for being in the profession and not knowing about their pain and not being able to, make other people know about it. So there was a lot of, emotional ups and downs that the entire unit, our cast, our crew, our technicians, they went through. Just to give you a glimpse of the amount of atrocity that has been happening in Kashmir. There was a lady that we had met. And I must tell you, since I touched upon the Kashmiri hospitality, I must tell you that every place we went to, we were served the best Kashmiri food. And Kashmiri Pandits have a tradition that on their table, you need